vampiric. What does vampiric mean to you? I just did. You described tonight as vampiric.
I did.
Yeah.
I think I've been describing myself as feeling. I was watching a commercial for M&M's, Kyle. I was distracted. I've been feeling vampiric this week because I've been working from home. My roommate moved in with her boyfriend. My new roommate isn't moving in until next week, so I've just been all alone.
Makes sense now.
And I have no good reasons to go out anywhere, but I need to leave. I'm very extroverted. We've discussed this. And I feel like all I need is that invitation. I just need somebody to invite me to do a social plan. And in that way, I feel like a vampire. I feel like a vampire in that I require an invitation.
You must be invited into the social spaces. Invited into the podcast. Welcome to our podcast. You are always welcome here. Speaking of our podcast, this is number 176 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson.
Hello.
Melissa, besides being vampiric, how's it going?
Week's been going fine, Kyle. Lots of TV time, lots of work time, baking a bread.
Good.
Working on that dough. Stuff. How are you?
I'm doing all right. This week has been it's good. So but before we get too far off the subject, I want to circle back around to this vampire thing. But I'm playing the Pokemon game that I always dreamed of when Pokemon first came out. Like back when Red and Blue came out and I was playing it on my Game Boy, like what I imagined it is the game that I'm playing right now. Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus, however you pronounce it, is out. It is available on Switch. And it's an open world RPG. I can like run around in the world and throw Pokeballs at monsters and fight them and stuff. It's so much fun, and I'm not even very far in, but I'm like, I've been waiting on this since I was like 8 years old. This is amazing. So it's been good. It's been fun. It's been a good week.
I can't wait.
Sam is in the chat.
Sam's here. Hello.
Hi, Sam.
Sam will not be surprised to hear that my dream Pokemon game would just be, you're in Team Rocket. You work there. Maybe I'm not even out in the field. Maybe I work in the offices of Team Rocket. And I'm just trying to make it a better place while still keeping full supervillain style. That's what I want.
There you go.
That's the job I would like to simulate for myself, please.
Go. So circling back around to the vampire stuff, Nick Cage declared, "I am goth" this week.
I love that headline. What you wrote, the headline says that he says that. What you wrote in our notes file is that he declared, "I am goth," which makes me think that he walked out on a balcony. Switched around a cape and just shouted at some townspeople. He yelled it in the middle of a field. Nobody was there, but like he needed to yell it to like God and nature.
Yeah, I went into Twitter and went into the like search thing. I forget what I was looking for exactly.
Today? Tell me.
Right? Yeah. But this is like one of the things that popped up on the search page as a like, hey, Nicolas Cage is up to something. Here you go. He said, "I am goth." And so, yeah, I pulled up this article here from Variety. Apparently, he's going to be playing Dracula in Universal's upcoming horror movie Renfield. And I
gotta
guess
say, I love that. I don't know who's playing Renfield, but I love that the movie is Renfield centric and Dracula is the supporting character.
Sure, yeah. but yeah, I just kind of skimmed through this. Apparently, he has a pet crow named Hugin.
Not Hogan. Hugin.
Yeah, Hugin. That likes to say, like when he leaves the room, says bye, ass. So I guess that's a thing there. But then yeah, he was like, I like the goth element. I am goth. So
I need
there you go.
I need
Nicolas Cage,
a scientist to tell me if a crow scientifically can say ass.
Right. That's what I
know
like,
they can make like
I know
they
they're real
sound
smart.
more human than other birds outside of parrots, but I don't know if they can like do that for real.
Yeah. I think I've ever heard about one of them talking or saying things, but I know they are super smart. They will like bring you gifts and protect you and all that stuff. And just like, yeah, but this is the first I've ever heard of that. But apparently Nicolas Cage is now a goth.
Has always been a goth. There's one other sentence I need to pull out of this Variety article. Cage's pet crow is named Hugin and lives in the actor's Las Vegas home inside a geodesic dome. Now, either he makes his home inside a geodesic dome, entire dome is home, or within his home, which may be a regular house type building, he needed a smaller home for his crow, and he's like, I'm going to build a geodesic dome. That's where my crow will live.
Geodesic dome is? What is that?
It's an Epcot. Dome. You've seen it. It's a spaceship Earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Spaceship Earth. That guy, that thing. Nicolas Cage lives in one of these things? What the fuck?
Right. I thought he lived in a pyramid or a mausoleum somewhere.
I mean, he's a goth now. I feel like he would like move into a cemetery, right? Just like
goths can live anywhere, Kyle.
I mean, yeah.
You may share a block with who knows how many goths right now.
Who knows? But that I guess brings me to the like question of the episode here.
Okay.
So what is your dream?
If you had a crow, what shape home would you put him in?
Would you live in a geomorphic dome or whatever the fuck that was? Geodesic dome? What is your dream method acting role? And not just like who would you like, not like what kind of person do you aspire to be and like you want to be, right? But just like, what is a role that would completely transform you into someone totally different that you can't really be per se in real life, or just like you right now with the skills you have and your mannerisms and stuff like that. What is your dream method acting role to just completely transform you?
You asked me
whatever you want.
Now that you've posed this idea, who is the most opposite person from me? I think of Patrick Swayze's character in Point Break because I don't know how to surf.
Okay.
I thought about what is the opposite of me, and I thought, well, I'm from the Midwest. How could I ever play somebody who wasn't from the Midwest? What if I had to play like a beach person? I've never even seen a beach. And I thought of that movie and how he's a beach criminal, and I'm neither of those.
He's a beach criminal, but like I don't think like so I actually just happened to watch that movie when I was out with my parents visiting them because we watched the first Matrix, and Keanu Reeves is in that, and my mom was kind of just like, I don't necessarily know if she got all the nuances of the Matrix, but was up for like, sure, I'll watch more. It's a thing we can do as a family. My dad, on the other hand, does not like like more cerebral movies where it's like reality inside another reality, but this is virtual reality. He hated Inception. Like that is his like all time, like that's the worst movie ever made. It's awful.
It can't be the worst. Maybe you don't like it, but you can't call that thing the worst.
He's like, once it gets into like all the, it's a reality inside another reality, it's a dream within another dream, he's just like, it's stupid. He hates it. So when I showed him the Matrix and stuff, and he was like, oh, is this gonna be like a dream within a dream within a dream? I was like, no, but kind of. Like, it's just one reality removed. It's not like 3 or 4 deep. It's just one.
Yeah.
And even then, like, it's not a dream. It's virtual reality. Like, it's not. Anyways, he was just like, yeah, I don't like these. And so I think I forget how we exactly landed on that, but we were eventually like, what if we just watched Point Break instead? And so we're like, all right,
a great choice.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was my first time watching it in full. I've seen bits of it. Like, I've seen it when it just happened to be on TV at like a hotel, and then I was like, I don't really know what this is, so I'm gonna watch something
good hotel
else.
movie.
Yeah.
I also just saw it for the first time a couple months ago, so it's on the brain. The opposite of me is a Bodhi, I think. I'd go real method. I'd have to learn to swim, to exist in a separate time zone, to be in the sun very often. I'd have to learn to be so many different, very different things from what I am to do that.
Yeah. I mean, because, like, that's the thing. Like you said, he's a beach criminal, as you described him, but I think he's so much more than that, right? Like, he is an adrenaline junkie.
Yes, exactly. I'm not that.
Criminal is what he is.
Yeah. An adrenaline criminal on the beach.
Okay,
in the sky.
So yeah, you'd be like starring in movies like Point Break, or that one with Jason Statham where he needs to keep his heart right up, or else he dies.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'd have
like
to.
That.
I would lose myself in the Crank.
Yes. Great. Love it. Imagine trying to do office work on Crank.
Exactly. I'd have to be on sabbatical. Like, no, I can't manage this petroleum sciences journal. I have to go be a Crank.
I have to go drink petroleum. Come on. God. Yeah, that I can see that. So yeah, you would have to, like, if you were a method actor in that, you would have to just like spontaneously go skydive, go rob a bank, go just do something wild.
Just live this Grand Theft Auto existence. Yeah, right, that's opposite of me.
Interesting. I think it's all right. So if we are doing opposite, I think I'd be a talkative librarian. I'm thinking of like all the time, like I'm super into sci-fi and cyberpunk and all that stuff, and it's all digital. And I was like, what is the most like paper-based thing? And it was like the Dewey Decimal System. Like I have to figure out how that works. And
you'd be an old librarian, not a librarian who is advanced in age, but you would be a librarian in a period title. I think about the lady in the Mummy with her arm full of scrolls. Like, they don't even have a computer.
Sure, yeah. But then I'm also outside of these podcasts, I'm very much an introvert. I am quiet all the time. I keep to myself, all of that stuff. So I would be very outgoing and talkative, and yeah, you know how they have the classic scene. If you're in a, that's something we should add to our bingo tropes list.
What?
If someone is in a library and they tell them to be quiet because they're in a library, just the
Yeah.
you're in a library. Like I would be the one that works there, and I would be the one being like, dude, shut up. It like they'd be telling me to like stop talking. You're in a library. They'd be like,
you can speak in a library.
Scroll. I know, but I'd be so excited that they'd be like, shut up, dude. Like,
yeah, I used to work in a library. We were very chatty.
Yeah, but like you're right. Like you can have conversations, but they're you know, you have to like keep to your like, all right, it's me and my computer here or my work here, and we can speak here. You can't just be like the hills are alive and like just like burst into song or do something like that, right? You have to keep it at like a 5.
Would you sing in the library? Method Kyle?
Sure. Yeah. I don't like, I'm thinking about that character and the stuff he would do or would be into, and I don't think I would put it past him to do stuff like that. I don't know if I would necessarily be in a musical.
You don't have to be to sing.
Oh, sure.
This is part of your character.
No,
you
Melissa,
just sing.
you have to
Nobody
be in a
asked
musical.
you to. Nobody needs this.
An all-singing library.
Right. Oh my God, you can sing, but you can't dance. You wouldn't break it all, Kyle. Your skills you've learned in this life would no longer be used. You put them on the shelf. And she'll be a B-boy no more.
Very stoic and stern, but also just sings nonstop. God. That's funny. I'm looking in the chat here. I'm catching up on stuff Sam has said, and she says, "I thought y'all said Nick Cage said he was God." God.
Who knows how he thinks about himself?
Which honestly just tracks for him, is what Sam says. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he
if he came out and said, "I am God,"
dome.
I'd be like, okay. Sure. I can't refute you. I can't fight you. I've seen Mandy.
God. I feel like we need to figure out what his birthday is, and just like whatever. Didn't we talk about this before?
It's easy to do that part, Kyle.
Well, no, but like not just the story doesn't stop there, Melissa. I'm in the middle of explaining this whole thing.
I just like that you've already inserted the phrase "figure out" at birthday. Like we have to spread out. We have to go to the library and spread out maps and get an atlas to be like, what's Nick Cage's birthday?
It's like national treasure, but it's figuring out what Nick Cage's birthday is.
Basic facts about Nick Cage. Nick Cage birthday.
I feel like we mentioned this.
It's January 7th, 1964. I didn't know he had the same birthday as my brother. Oh my God. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Cage.
Happy belated.
Yeah, he would be
Mr. Goth himself.
Hold on, 64?
Melissa's
Is he 60?
doing math.
He's 58? Hold on, I gotta get a calculator.
Wouldn't Google just tell you? Sam is in the chat saying 58. You can just say how
okay, good. All right, I feel backed up. Yes, I feel supported, Sam. Thank you. He is 58 years old. He is younger than my dad.
Okay. Anyways, I think I brought this up on one of our shows before, and we figured out that it wouldn't work to do it the week of his birthday. But I feel like on the review show, we should just have like Nick Cage week, where every year, like on that week, it's just whoever pitches stuff has to pitch Nick Cage
There's a
movies.
lot you can pick from.
Or
I was in
not even pitch them. Maybe we just start we just like whoever it is that week just picks one, and like, all right, this week we're doing Lil Nicky. Or no, that's not him. Why did I say that? What am I thinking of? God, no. Fuck.
Ghost Rider?
I don't know. Oh, I'm all right. It's even worse than that. I'm not even thinking of anything remotely close to that, but I don't even remember the name. It's some like, it might be a romantic comedy, it might be a drama. I don't remember because I've never actually seen the movie myself. I was watching someone else watch it on an airplane. Like I was looking at their seat.
Yeah.
And this was back around the time when Adam Sandler's Lil Nicky came out. And Nick Cage was in some kind of, again, I don't know if it's a rom-com or it's a drama, but it's some kind of...
City of Angels?
That's the thing. I don't know. I think the woman in the movie, I think she was a blonde.
Do you think that's City of Angels?
Let me see here. Let me get
Who's in that?
Google's...
A Meg Ryan? Yes, it's Meg Ryan. She's blonde. This movie came out in 1998. I think you're thinking of City of Angels. Which does feel like the other side of the coin.
Right? I was like, this is much worse here. It has nothing to do. Yeah, it might be this. Oh God, I'm looking. All right, I'm looking at Google Images here. It might be this, but that's the thing.
Google Images will bring you footage you recognize from this plane 20 years ago. You've got an idea brewing though. I don't think we've ever covered Nick Cage on the review show. I'll have to double check.
We just need to have like National Nick Cage Week on the podcast. God, that's funny. That's funny. I don't even know how to segue away from all of that. God, that was really funny. All right, how about we take our break? Then we'll do some housekeeping, and when we come back, we can do the second half of the show. We will be right back. We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you would check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/The Whatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. And we are back. Big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters, especially those at the $5 tier, like Sam, who's been here in the chat.
Hey, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. We appreciate it. We love you a lot. It means a ton. Cool things that we have been doing here at the Whatnauts. This week on the review show, or I guess this past week, we covered. Why am I blanking? What did we cover on the review
Landscapers.
show? Landscapers, that's right. I was like true crime, HBO. Landscapers, 4-part miniseries. It's a true crime kind of dramatization about this couple that ends up murdering the wife's parents. It was really, really interesting what they do with the camera and like reality breaking and bending stuff in that. I highly recommend it. Coming up on the review show, we are doing our first end of the month special for the year. We are reading a manga called Knights of Sidonia. We are covering the first 8 volumes this next week, and then at the end of February, we will be covering the second half of this manga, which is the final 7 volumes. It is a sci-fi space mech alien drama stuff. There's an anime adaptation. It used to be on Netflix. I think now it's on like Crunchyroll or Funimation.
It's on
or
Funimation. I had to get
Funimation.
a trial to Funimation because I wanted to see this.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, so I would say go check that one out. I remember liking the anime when I watched it years ago, but it's been so long that I like reading this manga. Things all feel brand new, stuff like that. And then on Crossplay this past week, we covered Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard because that was huge. That's gigantic news, and I'm sure this week we will be talking a lot about Pokemon. But last but not least, on the housekeeping side, we have some updated merch in our merch store. So you guys can go to thewhatnauts.com/store, I believe. Let me double check that. But
you double check that. I want to say I did go through our review show back catalog. I don't think we ever have run into Nicolas Cage over there.
Oh man. Did that? Is that? See, that's just bouncing us to our T Public store. It should just be the whatnauts.com/store. If not, it's the whatnauts.com/merch. But I think it's store, so that made the most sense to me. But since we redesigned the reactor core, and I was kind of when we launched our merch store, I was never really satisfied with the reactor core logo. I didn't think it looked good and all that stuff. We've never had reactor core merch, but now that stuff is all up there. So you guys can go get some reactor core merch, shirts, hoodies, baseball tees, tank tops, notebooks, pillows, mugs, masks, and stuff like that. There's all sorts of stuff up there you guys can go get. But yeah, and I've kind of slightly updated the Captain's Log logo thing.
Oh.
So the original logo that I made for the Captain's Log had like an asphalt texture to the typeface. Just like a concrete or like rust style texture on the logo. And when I was making the animated intro that we have on all of our YouTube videos for the Captain's Log, I tried to make that into the 3D animated one that you see now, where it like zooms out of the thing. But man, all those little tiny little details and stuff just made my computer like explode. And so I was just like, ooh, I'm gonna have to use a different font on that. So yeah, since I redid that animated intro a year or two ago now. I don't remember exactly when I made that, but I made it, I think, like 2 years ago now. That had a different font from the original logo, and I finally updated the logo here on stream and in the merch store and as the cover art for the podcast when you search for it in podcast services. So
Nice.
there you go.
I went and looked at our store. I don't know. Like when I hover over the link that says store, it just says a T Public little compressed link. You have some neat stuff. I dig the new Reactor Core logo. I like this rainbow one. It's very retro. Yeah. And with the RC and the little circle, it feels like I'm a teen detective from the 60s or 70s. Almost like it's a magnifying glass without a handle.
Yeah, I
just
just
a
thought,
lens, I guess.
I was like, oh, that's perfect. Reactor Core RC, but those two letters are like right next to one another, so I could arrange them in a way that I don't need the full word. I just need that little small symbol there. So I was like, that's neat. I can do something with that. So all that stuff is up there now. My goal this year for our store, or I guess to officially more so look into and figure out how much it might cost and stuff like that, I would like to commission an artist. Maybe an artist of a comic book that we've covered on the review show or something. Who knows? I'm not sure. But just to commission a design for a shirt, be like, what are your rates? How much do I need to pay you to own this? And then sell it on t-shirts and stuff like that. And because I think that would be fun to have like our rocket ship or something in some like stylized way. I think that'd be fun. That'd be neat. Or something like that, or like in astronaut or something. Just have like a Whatnauts astronaut, because we used to have one, I think, for the captain's
I dug
log.
the astronaut.
Paul did a bunch of the artwork when we first started. I did all of the design, but like the original rocket ship logo that we had, he made that. We had an astronaut, we had a planet, like all that stuff. He made that. And all that stuff was fantastic. But when he left, I was like, I don't feel as great using his stuff when like he gave me permission, but it was still just like, I kind of want to move away from all of that stuff. So one of these days we'll be like, hey, you art person, you want money, right?
An artist. That might be the noun we may call you.
Maybe. Maybe. Melissa, I have to do this one real quick because I thought this was just stupid, and we have an important update. Last year sometime, I think it was in the middle of this summer, I brought up that Mountain Dew is doing some alcoholic beverages, some Mountain Dew. They partnered with some brewery. I don't remember. Let's see if I can where it says
some
here.
Seltzer.
Boston
it
Beer
seems like
Company.
They're going. Okay.
Is the company they partnered with. They've announced a couple flavors, but today they announced a brand new flavor. They announced, according to CNN, they announced that they will now have a Baja Blast hard seltzer. So
important news for CNN to communicate to us.
Right? Yeah. It's from CNN Business. So you know they mean business with this hard seltzer. I guess it's just a hard seltzer with the Baja Blast flavor is what it would be.
I guess for people who are like, I love Baja Blast and I would love to be tipsy, but all those calories, like, is that why it exists? Because this is really going to be better than just getting a Baja Blast and pouring vodka in it or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, someone will have to add that to the Mountain Dew wiki that we are so fond of here at the Captain's Log. Sam is in the chat being like, sugar-free and no caffeine? What's the fucking point? I agree.
I mean, I know that was like the downfall of Four Loko, is that it was too much alcohol and too much caffeine, but like, I gotta have energy to stay up through the rest of the night.
Exactly.
A friend and I used to go get like McDonald's iced coffees and pour Malibu in them. And that's how we would get ready before a night of going to see improv comedy.
Hell yeah, partying it up.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I saw that today and thought it was funny, especially because this week I saw I saw, yeah, Sam is already in the chat being like, it's already in the wiki. She's linked us.
Thank you. Thanks.
But I saw Sam. I don't know exactly what you were referring to, Sam, when you posted it, but I'm assuming you saw some stream or advertisement or something that talked about there's a new Mountain Dew flavor out there that is like a raspberry lemonade kind of thing.
Ooh.
And yeah, it seemed like you were potentially like mockingly just being like, Mountain Dew raspberry lemonade sure tastes like Mountain Dew raspberry lemonade. And then I responded and was like, you're stealing my podcast ideas.
Only we may discuss the dew.
Right? Oh man, so there you go. Another installment of the Captain's Log Mountain Dew wiki adventure. All of that stuff. But Melissa, you're a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
They're my favorites.
We should talk about this one. Yeah, we got a little bit of I don't know if I'd call it news exactly. But we did get a bit of an update from James Gunn in an interview where he said something along the lines of, this is the last time that Guardians 3 will be the last time that you see this team of Guardians. We don't know what that means yet. So, my question is, what do you think that means? Like, what do you think? Like, is anyone dying? Is the team just splitting up? Are we getting new Guardians? Are members retiring? What's happening here? What do you hope to see or envision seeing? Or I don't know. Let's speculate.
I've been looking forward to this movie basically since, I don't know, May 5th, 2017, whenever I got out of seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Right, yep.
This is a movie I've been waiting for 6 years, quite a long time. And I always thought this would be a swan song for the Guardians, because there is a pattern of every MCU title getting 3 of those.
Sure,
3 Iron Men, 3 Captain America under Steve Rogers. We're going to get a Sam Wilson one now. You know, we've had 3 Spider-Men so far. Thor was the first person to break that mold and get a 4th movie, which some of the Guardians are going to be in. So in my head, I always
arguably, this next, like, Thor 4 is also kind of Thor 2, in the sense that it's going to be the second Taika Waititi one. So... But yeah, you're right. These like 3 and done, the classic trilogy is pretty standard, right? But I guess, like, especially with Eternals now, it seems like we are and I guess Secret Invasion coming up on Disney Plus. It seems like Marvel might be starting to expand their more cosmic side. I guess also with Thor 2, like, that seems to be, especially with the stuff they did in Ragnarok 2, it just seems a little bit more cosmic. All of that stuff. It seems like they're expanding that. So I don't think this is an end per se for the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, but I think, we'll start to see it split up somehow, some way. Maybe there is a new team, but maybe Peter Quill joins the Ravagers instead. He now becomes the leader of the Ravagers, or I don't know, maybe Rocket and Groot start their own thing. Maybe someone dies, like maybe Drax dies, or
no, don't speak that. Never.
I don't want him to, but like I don't see everyone surviving this third one.
I think we've already had enough loss. Yondu's send-off was so poignant and so beautiful. I don't know if you could do anything that really tops that. And we've already lost a Gamora. There's another Gamora out there who's going to be brought into this in some fashion, right? So I don't know if a death would necessarily be on
a part of the Guardians, right?
Yeah, it's a big question. Yeah, how are we going to get her back into the group if she, this is her from several years ago. She never met Peter Quill, never met any of them.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Like I said, I always thought this would be kind of an end to their story, their main arc, and maybe these characters would pop up again from time to time in different configurations. But it's probably, I always thought it would be kind of like the last time we have the entire team together doing team things. And they're a family. I think they'll in the movie being together. But yeah, maybe somebody's like, I'm getting out of the game. I'm going to settle down. Rocket and Groot start a detective agency. We don't know.
Who knows? Rocket and
Groot, and we're gonna get. Yeah, I think all we know about it is we've got Adam Warlock, and I know the actor who plays Myrn on Peacemaker. He's supposed to be an antagonist in Guardians 3. Okay. Maybe he is the High Evolutionary. Who knows? Maybe there's other antagonists besides ones whose names I can just parrot off of a New Rockstar's Theory video. Who knows what's in there? We may get new people. Shake things up. We might have a team that's Adam Warlock and Harry Styles and Nebula. And that's our team going forward.
That'd be
and Pip.
Interesting.
Can't forget him too. Yeah. Don't leave him out.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think it's gonna be a good send off. I think it's gonna also be a launching pad, maybe for a new series or new team. We might see the Nova Corps get started up again somehow.
Hey,
and I would love to see some kind of Nova movie or TV show. I think it would be best served as a movie, but. Yeah.
This isn't really related to that, but did you hear that Glenn Close is reprising her role as Nova Prime as part of the video for the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster?
I did not hear that. There you
go. She's gonna come back in anything, but she's good. She's gonna be in Epcot. You can go to Epcot and see her.
Interesting. That's fun. But yeah, if someone was to leave the team and go their own way, I think it would be Gamora. I think I could also potentially see. Now, I could see Rocket and Groot going their own way, but I think Rocket and Peter have such an interesting relationship that I think, despite their issues with one another that flare up every once in a while, I feel like deep down they really need one another. So I don't know if I would see Rocket leaving, and if Rocket stays, Groot would stay.
Yeah.
But if Groot leaves, I feel like Rocket would leave. So, yeah,
we don't know. And then we've got this holiday special coming up this year, which is going to be our first taste of the Guardians as a whole since the beginning of Infinity War. We didn't get we saw the entire team visually together at Iron Man's funeral, but it's not like we had Peter Quill talking to Rocket boy, what's happened these past 5 years when I was dead?
Yeah, it's wait, so there was a giant celestial inside the Earth here? Peter, that's your
Is this
uncle.
like my uncle?
They killed your uncle.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope that's involved.
That's gonna be really fun. Like I don't know. I can see Peter kind of doing his own thing, but only if he's still only if he gets involved with another team. But I don't see him getting involved with another team unless there's other members of the Guardians also in this new team. Like again, like they reform the Ravagers, and it's Peter and Rocket and Groot and Sylvester Stallone or whoever is still out here, right? Like they're all
the robot head, the Crystal Man, all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Taserface, right?
He died. Yondu killed him.
Bring him back.
Kraglin's there.
Taserface 2.
I'm upset that you said Peter would become the new head of the Ravagers to be promoted over Kraglin.
Okay, sure. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like they'd have a certain respect for Peter, that they would be like, you know what, you probably shouldn't be the leader, but we're gonna give you position of the leader because we know you're just gonna complain like the entire time.
Right, you're half god. You fought Thanos once.
You're Yondu's kid.
You have all the qualifications. Right. Yes. You're Yondu Jr.
Yeah. So I don't know. Good stuff though. I cannot wait for more Marvel movies coming out down the road. All of that stuff.
We don't gotta wait so long. You know, we're like 2 months away from Moon Knight. Maybe like a month and a half after that, we got Doctor Strange. But coming up rest of the year, we'll get to see them. We will get to see our Guardians. We got him in Love and Thunder this summer, and then we've got that Christmas special. What a treat for me after we've been dry on Guardians for so long.
Yes. Yeah. I do have to say I'm not caught up on the most recent Peacemaker that came out this week, but man, that show continues to just be stellar. Yeah. It is great.
I am enjoying it a lot. It is surprisingly very sincere and very heartfelt.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hopefully gonna catch up on that this weekend. And I think first weekend in February, I think, is like the last episode of Boba Fett. Like I think we only have two more, maybe. I don't remember.
I still have not seen Boba Fett.
It's coming.
I don't know what he does.
I've been hearing very mixed results. I liked the first one that I saw, but I can see why people had very mixed, like, just like, this one's bad versus this was amazing. Like, I loved this. So I'm interested to see what they do with the rest of it. Because it sounded like there was a crossover with The Mandalorian this past week, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. We'll see. Have you been watching much stuff this month?
I've been watching many things, actually. It's been a big movie week for me.
Tell me.
I got a month's worth of Showtime so that we could binge all of Yellow Jackets. Check out our Reactor Core episode on that. So while I still have it, I've watched like 5 Showtime movies in the last week. I gotta get my money's worth out of this. This week, I watched The Current War, that movie where this came out a couple years ago. Benedict Cumberbatch plays Thomas Edison.
Benedict Cumberbatch plays Nicolas Cage in...
No, Nicholas Hoult plays Nikola Tesla. He's in it. And then Michael Shannon is George Westinghouse. And Tom Holland is just Edison's secretary. And it's a movie about the fight for making your name synonymous with electricity, with bringing light to the American people. It's the director's cut is on Showtime. This is only 101 minutes long, so I don't know and I have no idea how this compares to anyone, like the one you could have seen in theaters. No clue how it's different. I don't know if I saw one that's basically the same with like 3 different shots, or if I saw a vastly different film from everybody else. I can't advise you, but I had a good time. It's very chaotic at the beginning, I think, because they're just trying to fit like a lot of exposition and a lot of scene setting in there. Like, it's got the fastest edits. There's not a moment to like stop and take a breath with anything. But then it does slow down, I think, once they're like going to be in one time period for a while and they don't have to keep like,
Okay.
yeah, 6 months after that, they did this, and the next year, then this invention happened. And they also label everybody when they come on screen like it's Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is so helpful. Just say, like, it just says Mary Edison, wife, former telegraph operator. Beautiful movie, good performances. I did enjoy it. And I think it will be of particular interest to you, because last year on our review show Bingo Sheets, you put down Death by Electrocution and tried the whole year to get it. And you get it in this movie. Somebody dies by electricity. And it is a plot point that electricity is so new that nobody has invented the word electrocution yet. Like, Thomas Edison stands up there and he says, because he's trying to spread the word, like, Westinghouse's electricity will kill you and mine won't. And he's like, I talked to the Merriam-Webster guys. They're going to work on a noun that means death by electricity, but we don't have it done yet.
We almost had death by electrocution because we watched Halt and Catch Fire, and there's that one scene, I think in season 1, where that guy gets electrocuted.
Yes.
But yeah, we weren't doing bingo at the time. Like, we hadn't implemented it yet. And yeah, then once we did, I just never got my electrocution.
No.
Oh well. Anything else that is noteworthy that you want to mention?
Do you remember like 2 years ago when we watched season 1 of The Tick? I'm finally finishing season 2 of The Tick.
Good for you. I think
Peacemaker put me in the mood to watch it. They've got similar vibes, those two shows.
Yeah. I think I remember, I think I accidentally watched season 2 first somehow. I don't know. And then I was like, oh shit, that was not what I was supposed to do. And then I went back and I watched it. Somehow I think I messed it up originally. I don't remember what I did, but yeah. I just have an odd, like, I think something weird happened with that one. Okay. Tick season 2. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Good show for
finally
Amazon.
Finishing that. I'm catching up with Pin 15. I've been rewatching Lost, which I will check in with periodically because it's a show I've already seen. I know very well, so I can like put it down for a couple weeks and I won't forget what's happening because I know it very well. So yeah, I'm working on things, you know, in addition to this great Showtime spree I'm in. This is my year to finish so many TV shows I've started and never kept going with.
Good. That's a good goal, I think. I've so I mentioned Titans season 2 a couple weeks ago that I continued on with that show. It's like something happened here. Melissa's camera is gone.
Turn it on.
And she's coming back. Discord must have just like spazzed out.
I noticed I was a little
here.
I was a little pixelated, so I thought I'd check the cord and make sure it was entirely plugged in. And it's like, you touched me, and I forget how to exist anymore. So let Discord figure out that I'm real again.
I think it also is picking up your webcam's mic instead of your main mic right now. So you might have to go into your settings.
You're kidding me.
No, it completely changed sounds from what you were. Man, gotta love.
Is it better now?
Yeah, that's it.
Do I sound normal?
Yeah.
Am I good? That's weird. How to do that? I just wanted to not be pixelated anymore. I don't want to be
Who
a
knows?
blur.
Knows. But yeah, so I was mentioning a couple weeks ago Titans season 2. I continued on and I watched Titans season 3. That was also fantastic. I really, really enjoy that show. It is interesting to see a darker take on the Teen Titans, but also that is kind of the comics from that, like that is the post-crisis comics that was, or I guess before that too, because they started, Marv Wolfman and George Perez started their run on the Teen Titans in the early 80s. So it was before Crisis, and then they continued afterwards. But yeah, it's very good, but is much darker and much more dramatic than I think most people would expect, but it's still really good. So I'm
good. It's good to hear, especially
to go ahead.
No, I just remember when that first trailer came out at like Comic-Con or like maybe some DC specific event where Robin's like, fuck Batman, and everyone's like, I don't like this. What's with this grim dark Teen Titans? And then we watched season 1 and we're like, this is pretty solid actually. And I'm happy that it keeps getting seasons and that you enjoy it so much.
It's pretty damn good. You guys should watch it for sure. But yeah, that makes me just more excited to watch Doom Patrol. Eventually, hopefully in the next month or so, I'll start that one. That's like the next big show that I want to start, is start watching Doom Patrol. But then let's see what I also have on my list here. I also started watching Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal, the animated series that was on Adult Swim a couple years ago. And holy cow, that show is awesome. It's great.
That's what I've heard. I haven't checked it out yet, but like, it's Genndy Tartakovsky, so of course it is.
Right. Yes. Like I was expecting it to be good, but man, immediately the colors in that show are gorgeous. Whoever did like the art direction and backgrounds on that, it just looks beautiful and vibrant. It is amazing. It is a lot more violent than I expected. It is very gory. If you don't like violence against animals or prehistoric dinosaurs and stuff like that, might be one to stay away from. But yeah, it is so good, and it's all silent. Like there's no actual like dialogue. I mean, I guess it's not silent, but yeah, they don't speak. So you just hear grunts and screams and noises and just like being in that atmosphere. And it's good. It's really good. It's like 1 part Conan the Barbarian, 1 part Monster of the Week, like kaiju stuff. It's just, it's so cool.
What?
Highly recommend it. It's on HBO Max. They fought these like giant bat things that they then learned the bats were collecting food for this giant spider that was like 20 times their size. Yeah, and it like just all sorts of stuff. It's pretty neat. It's good stuff, but it's pretty heavy. So not a very lighthearted show, to say the least there. But I'm enjoying it a lot. It's only got 1 season so far. I think there's only 10 of them in there, I think 10 or 12. But I think I'm about like halfway done. So good stuff. Okay. I've been enjoying that.
Good to hear.
Last thing that I want to mention on the podcast is that I'm almost done reading everything from DC Comics that I've wanted to read for a long time, that has been in the like pre-crisis / post-crisis, like in those periods. The thing that I started this year, like the first comic that I started to read Batman and the Outsiders this year, and I read the first like 34 issues, which I thought were
I gotta
fine
ask you,
this series. Yes.
who are the outsiders? Because in my mind, I'm imagining Batman and a bunch of teenage greasers who are fighting with the Socias. It's Batman,
no.
Pony Boy, Soda Pop, Cherry.
Right, yeah. God, I remember that book. No, so there's a like international incident that happens, and Batman wants to go save Lucius Fox, who is in this other country, but because of the like political turmoil, all that stuff, the Justice League can't go save them. To which Batman is like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it myself. I quit the Justice League." And then he goes to this country to save his friend, and while he's there, he meets a group of other heroes that are all there for their own reasons to like help out and stuff. And he's like, "Why did you guys all come?" And they all kind of had the same reason, except for one or two of them, but they were all just like, people needed to be helped. Like I don't care what I needed to do. I just needed to help. And so, yeah, he forms his brand new team that he calls the Outsiders, that work like outside of the legal system and stuff like that. And people that you would know or maybe have heard of is Katana. If you saw the first Suicide Squad, she was in that.
Yes.
Maybe if
she was the one with the katana.
Wow, great detective work, Melissa. You may have also heard of Black Lightning. He's a DC Comics character. Yeah, he's on the team. I don't know if you've heard of Geoforce, but he's on there. He's on the team.
He does rock things.
Earth-based stuff, yeah, is what his powers are. Yeah.
And could you tell me, does Black Lightning do lightning? Because when I thought about him, I think I only know Black Bolt.
Yeah, he's not far off from Black Bolt, from what you saw in Harvey Birdman, where he's like, "Why do I have to be Black Bolt? Just because I'm black?" Huh? like that. Yeah, that he is kind of a spoof on Black Lightning there. I think that's,
because Black Bolt's the guy who yells, came first, but yeah, right.
Oh,
he can yell too loud.
So Black Bolt from Marvel, who is in Inhuman. Yes. I was thinking of there's a character in Harvey Birdman who is I also think Black Bolt that might be Black Lightning. Now I'm getting all confused and stuff there. But he's in episode of Harvey Birdman, which of course is borrowing from like Super Friends and Hanna-Barbera and stuff like that. So it is a reference to a DC Comics character, which is why I was like, oh yeah, that one is a spoof on Black Lightning, because it's a black guy that does electric powers, which has been kind of a racist stereotype within comics. And yes, then there's Black Bolt from Marvel Comics, who, to my knowledge, is not black, but is inhuman and has the power that, yes, his voice is so strong that when he speaks, he creates sonic booms and stuff like that. So he does not speak. He maybe whispers every now and again, but he'll usually only say one word, because that's still strong enough to like defeat Thor, to be like, no. And it's like, oh!
See, I knew somewhere there was a guy who could be so loud he killed you. I just didn't know where he was.
Yeah, that's Marvel in the Inhumans, which Marvel tried to make a TV show mini series out of, and it was not good. And Miles from Lost, isn't it? He's in that
Well,
one.
he's
And
always reliable.
He plays Karnak, I believe, in that one. But yeah. Anyways,
What's a Karnak?
He's there.
No,
like,
I have to. If you introduce me to comic book things, Kyle, I'm going to stop and ask you a question about everyone.
I don't remember his powers exactly, but he's like super smart and tactical, and I think he's there. He's basically the advisor to the royal family. I think he's one of those people that's like, he can look at a thing and will instantly know its weakness. And so he can come up with the plans and just be like, all right, this is its weak spot. That's where we attack. This is where we need to do this and that. Yeah. So that's him. That's him there. So I read. We're so far off what I was trying to get to.
You were reading Batman and the Outsiders.
Yes.
Yes,
that was the like one of the last things I had to read. Wasn't vibing with that book as much as I hoped, so I stopped. But then I moved on to Swamp Thing, and I was like, I'm gonna read the Alan Moore run of Swamp Thing, to which I was like, you know what? Let me do a little bit more research on this, because I know Alan Moore does not start with issue 1. He's on, so he officially starts on issue 20. And I was like, I didn't know at the time, like, what issue does he start on? So I was like, let me see how much there is before that. Should I read that? Because I am more of a completionist. And general consensus is no, you don't need to read the stuff that comes before. However, if you're a completionist, might be good to go back and read the original creators run from the 70s, Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson, which Bernie Wrightson is only on there for 10 issues, and Len Wein continues through issue 13. So I read those first 13 issues. I liked them a lot. I thought they were fantastic. Then I read issue 1 of the newer series that Alan Moore eventually gets on, just as a like, okay, is there anything I need to know from this? No? All right. Then I moved on to Alan Moore's, and yeah, holy shit, it's great. It's so good. I'm like 2/3 of the way through that right now. I was hoping to get that done by the end of the month. I don't know if I'm going to get it done by the end of the month exactly, but I'm cutting it close. So Swamp Thing is good. I knew it would be, but like instantly I was just like, holy shit, this is good. Man, okay, fuck. Here we go.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Speaking of more supporting characters from Lost, Kimi is in the Swamp Thing TV show.
There you go. Which I looked that up on HBO Max, and I guess it's not on there anymore. They took it off.
Why?
I don't know why, because I was like, I should add that on there. Yeah. That was when I was like, well, maybe I should just go read the comics instead, because that's been on my list of things to read. So I did that, started reading them. So there you go.
Good.
That's all the updates.
We'll find somewhere to actually
this week
watch the Swamp Thing. I watched like the first 2 episodes of that Swamp Thing, and I was intrigued.
I can find it if I need to. I'll say that.
With your secret ways and means.
Yes. I'll just will it into existence. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I have this week. Do you have something else? Anything else? No? Cool.
No, I think I'm good. It didn't do much.
Sounds good to me. Let's end things there then for this week's show. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities, where me and my brother Jams talk about weird old kids shows you feel like only you remember.
Good stuff. If you guys want to follow me, I'm at YoKyleSpringer on Twitter. If you guys want to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So please go like, share, subscribe. That would help us out a ton. I should have been doing this since this whole month since it's a new year. But if you are new to the show or stuff like that, can you please go rate and review us? That would help us out a ton. That is always helpful. I know recently Spotify also put that you can rate and stuff like that. So if you could go rate and review us, that would be super helpful to help spread the word. Especially if you don't have the means to support us on Patreon. If you don't, or if you just don't want to, but still like the show somehow, you're just like that is the thing you can do. Go rate and review us. But
there's so many things have Patreons and you only have so many dollars to go around. We get it.
Understandable. Yeah. I think that about wraps us up for the show. I do have to kind of tease everyone. I think next week, Melissa, you and I should brainstorm ideas for some kind of like soundboard / meme board we can maybe implement into the show, because I like
that. Yes,
I have a stream deck. I've been wanting to add stuff like that to the show for a while. So I think we should brainstorm some ideas where I can just hit a button and it does the trying to figure out math meme on top of someone or stuff like that. Who knows?
Oh,
I don't
these
know.
are visual too. I was
Yeah.
thinking about strictly a soundboard for the audio listener.
We could do either or, because yes, it does need to have some audio component. Well, I guess not all of them need to, but for the people watching visually, there might be some visual stuff in there, and then there'll be some stuff that is only sound, or maybe it's both. Maybe it's a sound and a picture thing that plays a meme, or who knows what. But I think that's what we should do for this next week. But with that, we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.